Hi, everyone. It's Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016, and this is our Jupyter IPython dev meeting for the week. So first, we're not going to be having a Jupyter Lab meeting on Friday, unless at the last minute people want to schedule in real time, which is fine. And otherwise, let's go ahead with the agenda. Remember, basically, folks can read the notes. So just bring up anything that you specifically want to highlight for a group discussion. Otherwise, we can leave it to the notes. No need to read out loud every bullet point. Thomas, anything you want to discuss on NB-convert or anything? You're up next. Thomas, we see that you're not muted, and we see your mouth moving, but no sound is coming out.
Okay, so let's.
Am I the only one not hearing him? Is somebody else hearing him?
He's not making
no,
any
he's not making any sounds. He appears muted to me, though.
Well, he just muted, but he was unmuted when he was talking, and there was no sound coming out of his mouth.
So let's move forward. I want to remind to the YouTube users that they can go to jupyter.hackpad.com to see the notes.
And let's see if Thomas can fix his audio in while we go through it. We'll circle. Go ahead.
Okay, it turns out that fixing your audio is as simple as actually turning the microphone volume above 0.
There you go. Magic.
So yeah, just to unpack what I put in the hackpad a little bit, Hans has a private repository of teaching materials, teaching Python to incoming engineering undergraduate students, I believe. And that has been done as a big LaTeX document. And he asked me to convert it to a set of notebooks and to simultaneously convert it to Python 3 as well. So I've been doing some, obviously most of the work has just been the sort of the grit work of just doing the conversion and changing lots of content. But as part of that, I've started working on some tools so that you can have cross-references between the notebooks, and those can be preserved when you convert them to static HTML, and also when you convert the set of notebooks into one combined PDF. So it looks at the links in the document, and if it's referencing another notebook in the collection, then it rewrites those links to LaTeX cross-references. And that seems to be.
Is this something that you foresee becoming part of NB-convert, or are you kind of rewriting things on the fly? Is this an NB-convert filter, or is this a custom tool?
So at the moment, it's very much a custom tool, but I'm kind of envisaging it as a tool that's sort of built on top of NB-convert for working with a collection of notebooks as a large document rather than an individual notebook.
Because that kind of fits into some of the questions that we've been considering for the notebooks as documents, notebooks in big documentation collections. It fits very much in that regard. As Matthias said, Mike is going to be putting some cycles into that part of the project. Maybe we should schedule a meeting. I don't see Mike here today, but maybe we can schedule a meeting in the next few days, maybe Friday or something. We can try to find a time for Friday, our morning, your afternoonish, eveningish, and then maybe kind of brainstorm on some of these things. How does that sound?
Sounds good. And I will also try to, by then, pull out the bits that I have and put them into a public repo. So the repo, they're currently in the teaching materials repo, and Hans wants that to be private because it has like solutions to problems and things in there. But I'll try to get those scripts and things in a form that they're more more generally useful and not just for this course.
Perfect. We'll post on Gitter the time in case anybody else is interested in NB-Convert business. They can join us, obviously. But at the very least, the two of us and Mike will try to work on this with whoever else is interested. I'll loop Mike in to find a good time. Thanks, Thomas. That's great. Yeah, I actually wanted as we start kicking work on that front with Mike, I wanted to make sure that we had a lot of your input since you've put a lot of time into that. And so it'll be great, actually. Anything else from your side, Mike? Thomas?
No, that's the only thing I think that I wanted to bring up. Other than, it would still be good to get IPython 5.1 out if we haven't done that yet.
Yep. I think Matthias also had a note on that. So yeah, I'm not up to speed on the details since I was gone, but yeah, maybe once Matthias gets to it, we can talk a little bit about it. Min, anything you want to bring up group wide?
Mainly a few packages that are ready for release. The main one I think is MV format is ready for a release, and it's the primary motivation for releasing is some bug fixes and things, but it would also be the first release that defines the attachments property that was merged early this year. And so I just wanted to check if we wanted to do any more conservative cycles or just push it out. It's a tiny change that really doesn't affect much of anything, but it's just defining a field that's optional and won't generally be defined since the UI for it is only in Notebook Master. But I pinged people on GitHub last week, but nobody responded on that one. Yeah, and then NBDime is ready for some review from people with expertise that we don't have, like some UI design stuff for the diff viewing and things, and from some of the Jupyter Lab and Phosphor folks, it would be good to get some more expert eyes on how we're using that stuff and if we're doing anything that we shouldn't be doing. Yeah,
this actually could become a good candidate for a very nice lab plugin. Is that how you're thinking about it?
Yeah, specifically what I'm talking about is because we are using the Jupyter Lab and Phosphor models and stuff. And I think it would probably be good to get someone with more familiarity with that stuff for, to do have a bit of a look to see if we're doing things that don't make any sense. Yeah. But also, ultimately we do want to have to figure out a Jupyter Lab plugin, but I'm talking about a bit more basic stuff right now.
Yeah. Darian, Chris, I don't know if you guys would be willing to give it a once over. Is this issue 70 that you're linking over there?
70 is for like visual design, and then I like two things. One's for visual design, talking to designers and folks, and the other's for just the actual code.
Okay.
I've talked to Jason about it, but Jason's on vacation now.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be happy to run through how to write a plugin. The only thing is, it might be better to wait until next week because the plugin architecture is slightly changing with the mono repo. So yeah, sure. The current plugins all have to be ported anyway. So I won't have a good example really to show you until next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Okay. Thanks, Darian. Yeah, and I think if I understood Min correctly, part of the question was also just sort of general a sanity check. Hey, are we doing things right are we understanding Phosphor and how to put things together right? Does this code look like it's doing things backwards? Kind of sort of a sanity check on when you're new to a library, it's very easy to kind of pick up the wrong pieces at the beginning and make it work, but maybe not make it work in the most kind of idiomatic and natural way. So the kind of thing where a quick overview from you guys would help a lot.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thanks. That'd be great, guys. Min, anything else on your mind for the group? Okay, I just wanted to remind folks that, I don't know, did you guys discuss last week? I didn't have a chance to watch the meeting, the Jupyter Hub workshop.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, Carol and Jamie and I mentioned some stuff from it, pointing people to it.
Okay, yeah, then no need to go over it again. That was kind of my last activity related to the project. So just a reminder that the links, the materials are all online, videos, PDFs, slides, everything. So when people ask questions, it's a good reference point about Jupyter Hub from now on. Otherwise, I've been gone. I've been traveling. Matthias, things you want the kind of to pull group input into? That's kind of not otherwise.
So one thing we already kind of talked about already is should we try to wrap up 4x on notebook and push 5.0 out, even if 5.0 has less features than we originally planned to have, because right now starting to with Grant working on it, it's starting to be painful to backport everything. So
backport from where to where? From
master to 4x. Basically, like master has already some 5.0 commits, and almost all our bugs and the next we have like 20 bugs PRs to merge for 4.3. They all have to be backported by hand, and then we have a 4.4. And so I'm thinking of dramatically reducing the amount of things for 4.3 and bumping everything to 5, and say like 4.3 will be like really critical bug fix, and then we make a 5x, which is much smaller than what we planned before.
Yeah, I think it's totally appropriate to, and this is basically how we've done it before, is we stop backporting once diverging makes it not really feasible. So if we're at that point, you know, we tend to mark things fairly liberally as this is the earliest possible release, but that doesn't mean if it's hard to backport, it doesn't have to be. It's not that important.
Okay, so I will make I will triage more aggressively with Grant to have 4.3 soonish and a 5x after that.
It's totally fine to go through the things marked as 4.3, and if they don't apply cleanly, just say they're 5.0 things.
Yeah, I've already been aggressive. I can be more aggressive.
That's
if
totally fine.
One of you also wants to go through and up the version of some of these issues, it would be helpful. The other thing is IPython 5.1 is getting closer. We have less than n issues/PRs. We have a few that need exotic configuration, especially on Windows. I'm trying to get access to a Windows box here to check. So there are maybe 3 or 4 issues where we just need someone else to check that it actually works, and there is no bugs anymore. Sometimes it's just, hey, it's going to be in the next upstream version of Prompt Toolkit. It's not our problem. It's okay. It works with Master of Prompt Toolkit. And I think we still have one event loop issue on El Capitan. Someone that has knowledge of event loop.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember that one. I started looking into it, but then moved on to other stuff. I can get back on that one tomorrow.
Okay, and that's
Matthias, I would suggest for some of these things that are really sort of, we need people with Windows machines to take it for a spin. This is the kind of thing that posting on the mailing list and just retweeting that from the project account can help. I mean, that's sort of shouting into the wind. Hey, people, could you please have a look at this thing?
The other thing is, I was just going to say what I need to do constantly to check an IE. Microsoft has a site called modern.ie, and you can get free VMs from them specifically for testing because they realize a lot of developers are not using Windows machines. And they'll give you VMs for VirtualBox or VMware or whatever. So you can just go there, say this version of Windows, this version of IE, even though you don't really care about the browser, you just care about the OS. But you can go get free VMs from Microsoft specifically for testing.
Oh, cool. I didn't know about that. What is it called? Modern IE?
Modern.ie, yeah.
Oh, excellent. I had no idea that existed. Okay, cool.
Let's see if you can set that up.
Free tools for cross-browser testing. Very nice.
So otherwise, Jimmy and I will be talking at PyBay in 3 weeks. We have to prepare that. And I've been meeting with one researcher in UC Merced, and as usual, the same conversation arise with the same questions. And I think we really need a better state-of-the-art of Jupyter that includes things like Binder, like Jupyter Hub, like the various tools, and that have like a written document that have all the broad overview that we usually do in talks. Because it's something which is critically missing, and every meeting that I had so far is almost always the same questions. So just leaving that in the air. I know we are all aware of that, but I had one more that happened yesterday. And that's it for me.
Darian, anything that's not on the that you want to bring up? I mean, now that's not there, but that anything specific that you want to bring up?
Yeah, so actually, two of the things that I posted there, I may as well say out loud. One is that issue that I linked. I'm actually reasonably confident that we can just go forward. There were some comments on there, but just as a last second thing, if anyone wants to make a comment about our versioning strategy in Jupyter Lab, I linked to an issue. The other is because we were running into some issues. It's fairly sophisticated in terms of the nuance you need to get, but I think it's all well documented there. The other is that what's that?
Yeah, no, it looks very detailed, so I'll have to read it.
The other is that as of last week, I integrated the inspector stuff into the application shell, and so notebooks and the consoles do have inspectors now. I mentioned it last week that was the goal, and it is in there. So again, play with it, please. I know that Brian is having UX review done on it, so I know there'll be an actual dedicated group of people looking at UX, but also I'd love to hear what everyone else thinks, because I think this is one of those things that will probably be contentious, but if we get the behavior right, it'll really help distinguish the user experience of lab and debugging and a bunch of things that are pain points across the board that if we get right would be really good for us. That's it for me.
Great, thanks. Gino, are you online?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, guys. So the main thing to highlight, it's in the hack pack, is we put a blog post together talking about our work with this widget called Declarative Widgets Explorer. There's a nice little video that shows a walkthrough of how you would use it in a notebook and what it would do for you. So just take a look at it, give us feedback, and that's pretty much all I got for today.
Yeah, we actually should advertise it. Was this reposted from the project Twitter account?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been kind of off Twitter and kind of focusing on my backlog, so I hadn't noticed. Okay, great. That's great. Gino, Chris, you joined a little bit later. I don't see you on the hackpad. Is there anything that you'd like to bring up for group discussion, input, etc.?
No, I'm sure Darian covered all of it in my absence.
Cool. Hey, you're wearing a cool shirt, man.
Thanks. It's a nice shirt. You guys did a great job on this shirt. I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, Anna and the Cal Poly team did a great job. I love the fabric of the new one. It's really cool.
We need to order a couple more.
Yeah, it was too popular apparently. Our initially assumed a reasonably large order went by very, very quickly. But no, that's good. Okay, anyone else who has anything they want to bring up before we stop the recording? Going once, going twice. All right. Okay, well, thanks everybody. We'll shut down the recording, and I think there's a couple small announcements offline afterwards. So thanks, Internet.
Stop the recording.